Hey, this is Kat from Red Mountain Shaman, and I share shamanic wisdom through dreams, visions, nature, synchronicities, intuition, channeling, art, music, photography, and shamanic journeys. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about one of the ways that I connect to God, or what the Native Americans call the Great Spirit. I see the Great Spirit as a force that runs through everything and everyone. So sometimes I call it the God Force. One of the many ways I connect with this force, or spirit, is through shamanic journeying. I may make a video about how I personally do this in the future because I have had a few people ask me about how I do it. But in this episode, I just wanted to share my most recent shamanic journey with you all because it's a fascinating example of how the Great Spirit connected with me through this practice. I always set an intention before I go into a journey, and at the beginning of this journey, the intention was to call in further aspects of my divine power, abilities, talents, DNA, and to embody all soul fragments meant to be reunited with my current avatar. You can go back and watch my interview with Kimberly Palm, and we talk about calling back your power in that video. That was the last video that I posted. So the first thing I encountered along this path was the rainbow serpent. I have encountered this being in the past, and I learned that it is connected to the Indigenous or Aborigine people of Australia, and they see this being as the creator god. This beautiful being emanated pure love as it gently wrapped itself around me and slowly moved up my spine and through each energy center of my body. Then it showed its fangs and said, "I am all powerful." Then it embraced me and said, "I am love." Then it encircled me and said, "I am within everyone and everything." Then it shape-shifted into a jaguar and climbed up onto the top of a tree. After this, an Aboriginal warrior appeared. He gave me his shield and his spear. Then a seagull seemed to fly right out of his chest and flew towards me and landed on my head. I guess this warrior also had a sense of humor because he started laughing at the sight of me with this bird on my head. Then I started to laugh, and it was such a deep, blissful state of joy that warm tears rolled down my cheeks, and I asked him his name. He replied, "Adonai." I said, "Well, that does not sound very Aboriginal." He said this was not his Aboriginal name, but it was his higher name. Then he showed me many images of Australian plants and animals in quick succession, such as koalas and eucalyptus trees. I was also told that I had the spirit of the kangaroo with me, which signature energy is ambition, protection, strength, and ease of movement. He explained that many of us have had indigenous incarnations in past lives, where we were deeply connected to the land, the plants, and the animals, and thus deeply connected to God. He explained that now is the time for all races or colors of the rainbow to come together and work collectively to bring back the harmony on earth that we once experienced in these past incarnations. He said that we need to be bold and brave warriors, and that we are supported and protected. It is time to use our voices and let go of the fear or rejection from others. It is time to stand in our power. So after this journey, the first thing I researched was to see what the meaning of this name was that he gave me. I was incredibly humbled to learn that this is simply the Hebrew name for God. So basically, in my perspective, I had a beautiful encounter with God during this journey. I personally don't think you need to be a practicing shaman in order to incorporate shamanic journeying into your spiritual toolbox. If you truly seek and surrender to spirit, this can be an incredibly rewarding spiritual practice. The next thing I looked up was the jaguar or panther. I learned that this animal is traditionally thought to protect the shaman from negative energy and harmful spirits, as it accompanies them during times of transformations. It is also a symbol of power, which is interesting because calling back my divine power is what I went into this journey seeking to retrieve in the first place. The jaguar also represents majesty, stealth, exotic beauty, fertility, abundance, telepathy, and transformation. An interesting synchronicity is that a feral Bombay black cat gave birth to kittens in my basement this month. 2 of her kittens passed, and after I spayed and released the mom back into the wild, I am now fostering her one remaining black kitten. Bombay cats were bred to resemble mini black panthers. I may make a separate video about this experience in the future. The last thing I looked up was the seagull. I have encountered this animal in the past when I needed to get out of my comfort zone and pursue a shamanic path. But it also has the signature of freedom, independence, self-sufficiency, adaptability, boldness, which was in the message from Adonai, communication, devotion, fidelity, diversity, opportunity, resourcefulness, survival, and ultimate liberation. Now, beyond the things I researched from this journey, I decided to also channel Adonai to see if there was a deeper reason I was being shown so many Australian-themed images and beings. And this is a short but seemingly important message that came through. And I feel it also applies to all light workers besides me who feel called to this work that apparently still needs to be done in this region. So here's what he said. Enjoy. Dearest daughter of light, my energy comes in many forms. I have come to you through your practice of shamanic journeying in the form of a warrior, and I pass the baton on to you. I call on all of my servants of light to be warriors of truth, peace, and justice. I call on my emissaries to act in my name as protectors of nature and natural life. I show you the animals of Australia in order to guide you to work there on a spiritual level. This area needs healing, and within the land is housed a portal, which is why this country has been so under siege. I ask you and other workers of the light to visualize the transmutation of dark energy in this place. Uluru is a special counterpoint. This is a place where harmonic frequencies gather and collide in harmony. May you travel there in spirit at a near future date in order to learn more about this. As for the Australian animals who have been taken by fires in recent years, there is also healing to be done. Many plants and animals have been traumatized by these fires that have charred many millions of acres. There has been much clearing in this area, but it is not finished. I am preparing to activate an ancient portal that will bring a harmonious cacophony of energy, frequency, and tone at this sacred site. This site is a pressure point for Mother Earth, and as this pressure point is cleared and activated, it will affect her meridians that will in turn affect other parts of her body or land in positive ways. The fallen ones are aware of the power of this continent. It has the power to affect future timelines. I call on all spiritual warriors at this time to focus on creating freedom, beauty, and harmony upon the land of Australia. You can do this in shamanic journey or meditation through visualization and intention. Call for protection upon you and this beautiful land before you embark on this quest. I am with you, and so it is. I am all that is, and I am within each one of you. Go in strength, power, and peace, my warriors, who fight with love for the new dawn that is upon you. Amen and amen. I am Adonai, God of love. Thank you, Adonai. So after this journey or channeling, I looked up Uluru, and it's really interesting because apparently this massive rock right in the middle of Australia goes down about 3 miles below the surface. So it does seem like it's almost like a pressure point. And then I was like, millions of acres? Like, I wonder if that's true. So I looked that up, and 600 million acres were burned in 2002. So a lot of trauma to nature in that area. So those who feel called to do this work, he explained how to do the work in this channeling. So go back and listen to that if you want to remember. And anybody who works with energy and feels called to this, I hope that you would join me in this clearing and activation of this area. So until next time, if you enjoy the content and resonate with my work, please help others to see it by pressing like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.